The reason lives inside your needs bucket, and it hits about 62% of people who try this. That is not a small mistake. That is rent money. That is groceries. That is your credit score getting punched for no good reason. By the end of this video, you will know why the 50-30-20 rule fails. You will also know how to fix it for 2026. And you will know the one-line test that predicts failure fast. There is a detail later that changes how you classify needs. Most people never hear it. It can free up hundreds without a second job. This is about the 50-30-20 rule. It is the most shared budget rule in America. Welcome to Cash Flow Decoded. Now, real quick, this is educational content, not financial advice. Consult a professional before making financial decisions. But what I can do is show you exactly what is happening. But before I show you the solution, you need to see how deep this goes, because the trap looks responsible on paper. Meet Sarah. She is a 34-year-old medical assistant in Ohio. She is paid every 2 weeks, and she tried to be disciplined. Sarah set up her bank to auto-split her pay. Half went to bills. Nearly 30 went to fund money. Over 20 went to savings and debt. That sounds perfect. That is the 50-30-20 rule in one sentence. About 50 to needs, over 30 to wants, around 20 to savings or debt. Sarah even used a clean number to plan. Her take-home was roughly $5,000 a month, so needs got almost $2,500. Wants got around $1,500. Savings got about $1,000. Then life happened. Her rent jumped. Her car insurance renewed higher. Her groceries climbed again. Her needs bucket passed nearly 50%. That is the line nobody respects. My money coach warns that crossing it forces lifestyle changes. Cheaper housing, lower utilities, or the rule breaks. Here is the painful part. Most people label too much as needs. They call it unavoidable. Then the budget collapses quietly. Your needs are supposed to be essentials: housing, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, basic transportation. But in 2026, needs are inflated by subscription bills, delivery fees, phone upgrades, and convenience spending. You forgot you chose. Your bank does not know that. Auto Split does not know that. It will obediently send money away. Then your checking account eats overdrafts. And that is how Sarah went negative. Not from wants, from needs that were not truly needs. But here is what nobody tells you about your 50-30-20 rule. The rule has no income limit. Bread Financial says it can apply to anyone. That sounds comforting, but it hides the real gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is fixed costs: rent, insurance, childcare, medical bills, debt minimums. If those alone exceed about half your take-home, you are disqualified by math, not by willpower. My money coach calls this the common reason budgets fail, and it is worse in high-cost cities. One-bedroom rents can swallow your whole needs bucket. Then groceries finish the job. Then one emergency pushes you negative. Here is the part that makes this personal. Because you might be doing everything right. You might be tracking every purchase. You might be skipping vacations. And the rule still punishes you. Sarah did not buy designer bags. She cooked at home most nights. She had one streaming service. And her needs still blew past the line. Her rent and utilities alone were over $2,000. Her car payment was several hundred. Insurance was another couple hundred. Groceries were nearing $800. Added up, she was already above almost $2,500. That was before gas, before prescriptions, before a single unexpected bill. So the bank pulled savings automatically. Then her checking ran short. Then she used a card to float it. Then interest piled on. This is why the rule fails for about 62%. The failure is not the rule itself. The failure is the needs bucket lying to you. Meet Marcus. He is a 41-year-old warehouse supervisor in Arizona. He makes decent money. He thought the budget rule was for people behind. Marcus tried the 50-30-20 rule after a raise. He wanted to be the responsible one in his family. He even set savings to auto-transfer first. Then his needs expanded to fill the space. He upgraded his truck. He increased his phone plan. He financed furniture. He called those needs because he used them every day. But the payment was a choice, and the interest was a tax on that choice. Drop a comment if this has happened to you. If your needs kept growing, even when you swore you were budgeting. And that is when everything changed. Because Sarah and Marcus failed for opposite reasons. Sarah had high fixed essentials. Marcus had flexible payments disguised as essentials. Same result. Needs over half. Cash flow negative. If this makes sense, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Watch this next part carefully. This is where it turns around. First, you need the rule stated correctly. It is after-tax income only. Not your gross pay. Not your salary number. Step 1 is to calculate take-home. Use what lands in your account. Step 2 is to track spending for 1 month. Every category. No skipping. Step 3 is to allocate using the budgeting percentages. About 50 to needs. Over 30 to wants. Around 20 to savings or debt. Step 4 is to automate nearly 20% to savings first. RBL Bank calls this the SMART option because it protects future you before wants sneak in. Now here is the hard truth. If needs exceed nearly 50%, you do not force the math with guilt. You change the plan. Option 1 is to adjust the rule. Some people use 60-20-20. RBL Bank notes it for aggressive debt payoff or for high fixed costs. That means you cut wants down to around 20, and you keep savings at around 20. You do not steal from savings first. Option 2 is to attack the needs bucket, not by suffering, by reclassifying and renegotiating. Here is the reclassify test. If you can pause it for 1 month, it is not a need, it is a want with a contract. That includes upgrades, add-on services, extended warranties, and subscription bundles. Next is the renegotiate test. Call insurance, shop plans, ask for discounts, raise deductibles if you have an emergency fund. Then housing. This is the biggest lever. If rent eats your rule alive, you need a housing strategy. Roommate, move, downsize, or increase income. That sounds harsh, but it is less harsh than permanent overdrafts. And it is less harsh than credit card interest. Now the compounding part. This is why the rule matters in 2026. Because savings is not a nice bonus. It is your escape hatch. If you save about $1,000 each month, that is over 20% of roughly $5,000 take-home. At around 7% returns, it can become over $1 million in 30 years. If that same $1,000 gets eaten by extra needs or extra wants, you do not only lose $1,000, you lose your future options. But what happened next changed everything. Sarah stopped chasing a perfect spreadsheet. She ran the needs test line by line. She found 3 fake needs. One was a premium phone plan. She switched to a cheaper carrier. She saved about $100 a month. One was grocery convenience. She moved to a weekly list. She cut delivery and waste. She saved a couple hundred. One was car insurance. She shopped it. She bundled it. She saved nearly $100. That freed up almost $400 monthly. Then she changed the rule. She used 60-20-20 temporarily because her rent was still heavy. Now here is what this means for your money. You do not need the 50-30-20 rule to be perfect. You need it to be honest. If needs are above half, you are on thin ice, and you must act fast. Start with the bank statement. Circle every recurring charge. Ask one question. Can I pause it for a month? If yes, move it to wants. Then cap wants hard. Use one card for wants only. When it is empty, you stop. Then automate savings first, even if it is smaller at first. RBL Bank is clear on the order. Pay your future before your cravings. Now go back to needs. Attack the big three: housing, transportation, food. For transportation, avoid payment upgrades. Keep the car you have longer. Refinance if rates drop. Shop insurance yearly. For food, plan your meals. Buy store brands. Reduce waste. Use a separate grocery account if you need guardrails. For housing, set a red line. If it breaks the rule, it breaks you. Look for creative fixes. Roommate agreements. Negotiating renewals. Moving one zip code over. And do not ignore debt minimums. They belong in needs. But extra payments belong in savings or debt payoff. That is the 20 bucket doing its job. Now we return to Sarah. Because this is the part people miss. Sarah kept the same income. No side hustle. No miracle raise. She fixed classification. She fixed leaks. She fixed automation. Her bank split stayed. But the buckets changed. Her needs dropped under half. Her wants stopped being invisible. She automated savings first. About $1,000 a month. Some months it was a bit less. But it never hit zero again. Her checking stopped going negative. She built a small buffer. Then an emergency fund. Then her credit card balance started falling. And when her rent increased again, she saw it immediately. Because her needs bucket had a hard ceiling. She did not pretend it was fine. That is the difference between the 50-30-20 rule as a slogan and the 50-30-20 rule as a system. The system calls out needs inflation fast. So remember the failure test. If your needs exceed about 50%, the rule demands change, not shame. You can adjust to 60-20-20. You can cut wants. You can renegotiate needs. You can increase income. But you must stop lying to your buckets. So let me break down exactly what you need to do. Check your take-home pay. Track 1 month. Then enforce the needs line like a guardrail. Your 50-30-20 rule is not outdated. Your categories are. Fix the categories and the rule starts working again. Check your 50-30-20 rule before Friday. Send this to someone who needs it. Before they lose another dollar. Drop a comment with the money topic you want exposed next. Hit like if this opened your eyes. Subscribe to Cashflow Decoded for more. Next week, another financial trap most Americans fall into.